Okay, before I go, I have to ask you once again about this collection. Looks like pickle jars, but it's not pickles in there. Tell me again, Jackie, about all this stuff.
So I started actually collecting when I first moved to East Gloucester, really like 25 years ago. And I have consistently tried to get out like on some sort of a regular basis, off season, like now. This is a great time of year to look for Seaglass. And then over the years, also people will call me because they've had big collections, they're ready to downsize, or they've moved on to collect something else, and they've also made donations. So this, this is all cleaned with bleach and water, sorted by size, sorted by shape, sorted by color, and in my head, sorted by the things, like what I'm going to actually use that for. So if I know I'm going to use something to make a bracelet, or I'm going to make some earrings, they start to wind up in smaller jars like this based on what I think I'm going to actually make with the Seaglass. And these are really hard to come by now, these jars, because a lot of these are plastic now. But it used to be Destinos would save them for me, or whoever. Now I can't find anybody to save them because nobody's getting these glass jars.
I just realized how they're sorted and the colors and everything. So, how long? Give me an estimate. How long did it take to do all of this? Would you say? I know you do it in steps. You're not going to sit down and do it in one one fell swoop, but. Give me an estimate on the hours it would take to get all this stuff sorted and then to put it in these jars, and you got to clean it and all that. I mean, it's time consuming.
Well, I can only go by what I just did. So this came to me, this jar right here came to me filled with all these small pieces of Seaglass, right? From a lady in Ipswich who was a customer a number of years ago and remembered that, at some point, she wanted to give me her collection. So she very kindly called me. We picked this jar up. It was a lot different. I just cleaned the jar. Because I had emptied this all out. I had put it in buckets. I had cleaned it with bleach and water. And then I tried sorting it. I mean, it's way too much to sort all these small pieces. So I pulled out like really in, little batches. So, I mean, that alone probably took me, I don't know, 8 hours, 10 hours, at least, just for that.
That's what I'm thinking.
Jar.
And that looks like a bunch of jigsaw puzzle pieces. I mean,
exactly.
Well,
heavens. Everything I do is a jigsaw puzzle.
It is, and you make a picture out of it.
Yeah, but I mean, this is a very gradual thing, because now I'm much more strategic. When I go out, I'm going to use 80% of what I pick up.
Okay.
All right. Whereas when somebody gives me a collection, I might use 10 to 20% of what they give me.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's just not, the shapes, the sizes, the colors, like there's so much white. But hey, I can't be, I'm thrilled when people feel like another lady came, a wonderful woman who had collected when she was going through surgery, after heart surgery she had. And, it was just a way of healing her collection. Now she's past all that, so she was ready to give me the collection. She was another lady that popped in. She had actually pre-sorted everything, which was nice.
There you go, yeah.
But I still had to clean it and then resort it in a sense, right?
Fantastic.
So, but I never say no. And in fact, at our opening that I told you about that's coming up, we're going to give everybody a little bag of these small pieces. So everybody can have some for
little souvenir
and feel
and for them to create something.
Exactly.
And finally, Jackie, I don't know if this is a fair question or not, but when you get an idea and then you turn it into a creation, again, what's the process in terms of time? What are the steps that you have to take? And are some things quicker than other? Some things you can really put together quickly. Other things you got to come back and do it again and again.
Yeah, the old process question, right?
Well, it's
it's interesting. I guess I'm kind of pragmatic. Okay, that's the first thing. I look at the collection and I say, okay, what do I not have enough of if I have like a show coming up or whatever? And so it might be alligator clips or earrings or a certain size barrette. And so sometimes that helps me get started because it's such a practical thing. Like I know I need more of X large barrettes, so it forces me to go down that path. And usually what I do, it's interesting when I'm starting, I go through first, I always start with pottery because I have the least amount of pottery. And I'll pull out like a dozen pieces of pottery and lay them out, right? And then I say, okay, what colors are going to go with that pottery? And then I pull out, like lavender or dark green, and I try to see, okay, put it in one of these things, like put it over here, pull out the piece, and it's literally a puzzle, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe, you know, and then maybe 2 or 3 barrettes where I can use that, put that back in the jar, boom. And then I say, okay, now I'm gonna dump another color in, you know, and then I put that color in, and then I try to see that might fit with one of the original pieces of pottery, or
Okay.
it might fit,
Yep.
be the third pice in one of the other
Gotcha.
things. So that's how it kind of goes. And then sometimes there's 2 or 3 pieces, they'll sit there for weeks. Because I just haven't, it's really like a puzzle. I have not found the perfect fit from the collection.
I was gonna say, is there anything that has put itself
Yeah.
together for you?
Every now and then, but very rarely.
Okay.
And so then I actually, you know, after everything's epoxied, which has to then wait for 24 hours, then I do my decorating. You know, I try to figure out what else I want to use with beads or pearls. And then I start my wiring. And so there's 2 or 3 steps after that. And then finally, the final step is cleaning them up with a little spritz of Windex. And then pricing them, you know, and putting them in the collection.
You know, and then
photographing them.
Well, yeah, and then the other thing, yeah, the artistic part of it, also in displaying them. I mean, you
Yeah.
have to come up with a design in your head for a display.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, this display, last time you were here, I had just done this new display. So, and of course I move it around, change things around. But the windows are kind of my trademark. And what's exciting about the Jane Deering Gallery is that the entire front of her gallery is these sash like this big, big window with all the
Right,
sash.
right.
So I'm going to be able to hang stuff in the window. So that'll be kind of fun.
Yeah, whenever I walk by there's always something interesting going on in there.
Yes.
Great. So I can't wait to see it. Thank you, Jack.
Yes. Thank you so much, Rick. And you should have some fun speaking with Leslie and maybe even Jane.
We will
so
do
that'd
that.
be great.